Well, howdy, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Trying to get going here and stuff. Let's see. Let me get some music going here. I can't decide if this music is too loud or not. I adjusted things with my last stream for the roadmap planning with Ryan, but now it seems significantly louder in my own headphones. Might adjust this down. Let's see. I don't remember what it was set to before I adjusted it. Alright. Shifted that down a bit. And I'm going to adjust my own output for it. Alright. Now it's not nearly as loud for me. It was quite loud before. Alright. And if anyone joining in feels like the music is too loud, please let me know. I will adjust it some more. Or maybe you think it's not loud enough. Either way, let me know. All right, so we've been building this wallet for the Dash Incubator. And it's coming along. It's pretty close to the stage 1 or MVP version of it. But it's, you know, taken a little while to get here. See, I'm actually gonna swap out windows here. Let's move this one here. Okay. We'll inspect that. Okay, so we have been building this. It is a new wallet using web technologies that we've built in the Dash Incubator. And the goal is to have something that kind of functions more like Venmo than a traditional cryptocurrency wallet. And we are basing it off of this design that was done by a designer named Nick. And, you know, I forget his last name, but he's done a really great job here. And we've been implementing it with vanilla JavaScript. So we've been through this a lot of times now, but let's go ahead and get our wallet set up, which the design here has two examples of how you can either generate a wallet or add an existing one. We've made a few modifications to the process to hopefully improve things. And eventually we'll end up at a page like this. So if we go in here, we add an existing wallet. And I'm going to come in here and grab one of these phrases, and I'm going to paste that there. I'm going to call this alias Jojo. And enter an encryption password, encrypt. All right. Cool. And while I'm thinking of it, I'm going to state that as well. I'm still not used to this. This is such a recent addition that it throws me off. I'm used to clicking that and edit profile opening, so it's just odd to me to have that not doing what it has for, you know, probably 20 or more episodes, maybe 30 episodes of this stream. So yeah, that's pretty weird to me, but it's good long run. Just weird adjusting to it. Okay, so we also need another version of this open. I'm gonna go ahead and copy this. All right, so this is a different browser version of Brave than the main one we're going to be working in, but it will allow us to pair the wallets and demonstrate the functionality that we're trying to build here. So encrypt this one. Okay, so I'm gonna edit that as well and say byte. And I'm going to pair these right now. So we copy this URI and paste it here, and then we copy this URI and paste it here, and we add contact and add contact. Right, so now these two wallets are paired. We'd be able to click into them like so. If we click that, we can see the pairing URI and the QR code for the pairing URI. And we should be able to send some funds, so let's send a small amount. Say to byte, we're going to send 2.01. So it shows up in the white area. Right, sent. Well, this one updated. I'm a little curious why this one did not. Don't move. Not bad. So I just clicked on the balance and that did a manual refresh, so it did get it. I'm wondering if it's something with the WebSocket or the data the WebSocket is trying to compare to. Maybe when it's a zero balance, it's not updating correctly. I'm not sure. But for now, I'm going to drag that off the screen. I don't need to watch it. It's more for future being able to drag it over and demonstrate sending funds to and from two different wallets. Okay, so what we are primarily working on is finishing, let's see. So we need to finish updating some of the copy, like we're changing recovery phrase to seed phrase. there's an error that gets thrown when you try to send funds from a wallet with a zero balance, so we'll need to look at that. And then I believe there is a font issue. I can't recall if I fixed this already. So that definitely looks... So I think this font size, so 3.75 rem is different from this one. Okay, no, I'm wrong. 3.75 is the same, but font weight is 800. And so in this send one, it's actually didn't have the font weight set. So that should be 800, but I think it must actually be the receive one that I was thinking, or the request one. Yeah. So request here, it's using that same class. Let's find this real quick. See, I thought we were looking for one that was 275, but apparently it's 375. But I'm going to go ahead and say font weight 800 here. And maybe I should check real quick. Let's see if there's big anywhere else. Just those two places. All right, that's okay. So that should fix the font weight going forward. That's an easy fix we can add here. Let's see. Match amount font weight to input field. Okay. Get that added. Check that off the list. Let's find... Oh, not that. I actually prefer recovery phrase, but Ryan apparently says that the industry standard is calling it the seed phrase, so we will switch to that. Whoa. Okay. Oh my gosh, stop it. Okay, seed phrase. Seed. So, if this was more than what's here, I would not be doing this by hand. But the reason I am is there are a few places in the code that I think we're referring to a recovery phrase. And like there. And I don't want to accidentally replace anything like that. I'm okay leaving those in the code. This is just for the copy that actual end users will see. Actually, this error, end users most likely will not see that, but if they look at the console in their browser debugging, they might see it. So that's why that's there. Let me shift this back over here. Okay. So seed phrase, seed phrase. My apologies. Got a phone call there. Let's see. So, what was I looking for? I know there's one of these things. Who's refactor? Neither fixes a bug nor adds. Style might work. Let's say. Oh, maybe it was in here that I was actually thinking of. One of these examples, I believe, is for copy. I can never remember which one it is. Add or updates. Configuration. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Maybe that's it. Update text and literals. I'm going to use that one because we changed things to seed. Rename recovery raise to seed phase. All right, there we go. All right. This is one of the other things I've realized I don't love. I like it, and then sometimes I don't. This address is changing every time. And actually, this might be worth it to find out what happens. One of the things on my list that I need to finish for this is batch generating addresses as they run out. And we generated 20 addresses. I don't know what will happen if I keep opening and closing this. So that is changing every time. I want to see what happens when we get, we're at SW4A. Let's look at our IndexedDB addresses. Oh, that's annoying. Search. It doesn't look like it's doing what I want it to. That's irritating. Okay, I guess I'm not searching for it. But we're looking for one that ends with SW4A. And I want to see what index that is. It should be account index 1 and address index of a different one. So let's see. There it is. So account index 1, address index 5. So we need to open it 14 more times, I think. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so CGXXE. CGXXE. That one. So that's address index 18. So the next one should be our last one that we've generated, which in reality, I don't think we should let it get to there. So request, that's the last one. So 3Y5R. 3Y5R. 3Y5R, address index 19. All right, so I don't know what's going to happen when I do this next one. And that's why I'm going to test it. Okay, that's actually good, I think. I was a little worried that it would implode, but it's also not grabbing from here, I don't think. I don't know what the search field is for if it doesn't actually... What? It filtered out 2? So there's 40 entries total, and I'm searching for one specific, and it filters 2 of them out for unknown reasons. For unknown reasons. I don't get that. That is very odd, IndexedDB. Very odd indeed. Okay. So the good news is the way it's generating this next one is from the address and account index. So it doesn't actually matter if it's in here. However, if funds are received, because that's not added to this list. Oh, dang it. I didn't mean to do that. I guess we'll find out what happens now with that. Let's refresh. Whoops, don't move that. Go back. Okay, that's good to know. fix that while we're looking into it. So 756 in main. Is 500 not okay? Okay, it's actually wallet. So balance is 619 in wallet. Okay, so what I believe is happening here is adder keys here is empty. Does this get anything returned? Returned funds. I suppose I can return that. So if there's no address keys, that will fix that issue. But in reality, it should regenerate those keys. However, it's probably not the right location to do this for the update all funds. I know we have something in here already for the batch. So add contact. So we do batch generate when you add a new contact. So app state phrase. So if there's no phrase, we show onboarding. There is a phrase, and the addresses are empty. We generate. Theoretically, refreshing should have done that, I think. But that's clearly not happening. All right, so let's see what happens when we do that. Should be 0. But maybe it's not for some reason. Something weird. Okay, so let's refresh. Store address promise. Oh! Right, that explains it. So account batch, account index. Let's pause that for a second. I want to see if any contacts are available at this point. Let's see, accounts. So let's see, app state count equal to accounts and all in store. That might be what I want. No, that's just one account. Wait, hang on. Find all in store. Accounts, wallet ID, selected wallet account index, accounts. Maybe that would be it. Let's see. Okay, so that is just the one single account. But let's see if what we need. Not right either. Certainly not a list of what I was thinking. So store accounts, find all in store. Target store. Very. was trying to see if we're actually listing out all accounts somewhere else, but it's looking like we're not. Yes, we are doing contacts though. So appstate.contacts. Oh man. Forgot about that. That encryption really makes it hard to debug things. I have to think of a way to debug easier. For now, I can, I think, check this. So that should be the wallet account index. And I'm pretty sure we're setting the wallet. Let's see. Okay, so I think we could do this. Account index. Batch wallets. 0. Accounts. Okay, so wallet index, address index. All right, this should fix this being empty. That might be my bad. I didn't do it right. Also, not sure. I think account index is being set up here, quite a ways apart. Is it being used? I don't think it's being used by any of those things. Yeah, I'm gonna move this. Now it's at least an eyesight of that. App state account index. I'm wondering if it's worthwhile to say let count index equals 0. feel like I ran into a problem where I regretted not setting this in the for loop, even though I think that should be valid. There was some sort of glitch I ran into. But this, I want to wipe this out again. Do that and refresh again. Okay, so this time, okay, good. Good. This time it generated all 20 of them. However, this index. See, batch address generate. Wallet derived. Live account index. All right, so what I'm trying to think through right now, apologies for being so quiet, is the account for the contact actually has an address index that's over 20, but batch address generate is not checking the account. So that might be okay, but it may be worthwhile to Oh, that's also interesting. I don't know if we necessarily need to await this. It might actually slow things down. Like wallet, we absolutely need awaited. But generating those addresses, I don't think we do. It will slow down the loading of the interface. So it might be worthwhile changing that around. But if we're changing this around already, it may also be worthwhile to either modify this function, but I'm kind of leaning towards using this, but wrapping this functionality, the loop, inside of something that actually checks the accounts. And I'm pretty sure I have another batch function somewhere. That does something similar, but slightly different, if I recall correctly. Just generate. So a init wallet does that. The batch. Oh. Hang on, what's going on here? We have this function in two places, and it's slightly different. Oh, so one function doesn't interact with the store, the other does. So this one does not interact with the store. We're only using the wallet one. I'm also wondering if we need to check the other use types. Right now I'm defaulting to the receive type, but I believe there's a change type. Yeah, so receive is 0, change is 1. Let's look real quick in -HD. D. Reject the recovery phrase or seed if account index 0 is not valid. Void. -HD change. The intended use of the key as a receiving address for external funds or an internal change address. So right now we aren't using change in this wallet at all. That doesn't mean we couldn't or shouldn't. I'm also not sure, like, if you already have a wallet and you're importing your existing recovery phrase, you could have change addresses in that wallet. And so maybe we do need to check those. It's just a lot more data we're going to have to check. See from seed for options to change. Just no. Hmm. Okay. All of that is to say that I'm trying to determine if it makes sense to delete this or combine this. And so since the primary difference between these functions is the addition of store, I was kind of thinking it might be better to do this as a callback. So having a more or less pure function that doesn't have the store, and then if you need that store stuff, you execute that inside of a callback. But what I was looking at for this stuff is we need a way to check the current accounts and grab the address index from the account. So it should be generating from 0 to whatever this index is plus 20. So it should be generating 41. I don't think we're using load wallets anymore, but I could be wrong. I guess I'm wrong. Thought I had replaced most of those. Yeah, I think I would prefer, instead of doing load wallets here, do something like that instead. Although I'm hating that naming. Okay. A very minor change, but I think it will be a good one. Let's reload the page and just make sure nothing broke. And that's why we check. Arg store length. Not read properties of undefined. Oh, derp. That would be why. All right. So this all started because we need to fix the batch generation. So let's get back into that now. I'm going to cut this one. Oh wait. Hang on. So if I recall correctly, the utils.js function I made with the explicit intent of limiting the imports, which it does have a few imports at the top, but I didn't want to load store into it if we could avoid it. So yeah, mostly it is constants. You know what? I think we could delete this for now. Okay, so mostly it's importing constants and it's importing a couple of the dash libraries. All right, so we're gonna want to do something like this. Actually gonna delete that for now and just modify this stuff. So, batch generate account addresses, wallet. So the other thing that we wanted to do that we haven't added yet is, and this, okay. This is why we made the other change to that function. So, was it, get stored items? Okay, so we need to get the accounts. So we're going to use that new function we just made for the store accounts, which should get us an object. So that object should contain these two objects with their keys, like so. You know, I might be overdoing this. Now I'm curious. Let me see here. We're using local forage to interact with IndexedDB, and I haven't been using it this way, but now one of the ways you can interact with local storage is you could do local storage dot select a alias, for example. But I don't know if you can do local forage dot yeah, I don't know how from the console here how to get into this, but with it already imported and everything, I'm wondering if we can target one of these just like we did with local storage there. So what I want to log here is the see what that looks like. Okay, so store addresses, local forage. Yeah, it's not looking like what I was expecting. I suppose I could try requesting one of these, so let's see. Defined. Nope, that doesn't work. Okay, so it won't work like that. I'm thinking I'm not overdoing it after all. But I could also test this real quick and go... So this should actually give me an object that I could do that for. There you go. Okay, so given that object, instead of looping like this, I think we should do... All right, so if the the store addresses is 0, so empty, but we have accounts stored, we would loop over it. This is where I hate how local forage does things. It certainly makes dealing with IndexedDB easier, but there is the ability to add multiple indexes, and it would be great if I could actually index on one of these indexes or two of the indexes so that I could sort and find this stuff easier. It very much irritates me that it makes that more difficult, but See, what would be nice is if I could just insert the account index. I don't know why account index is in there. So if I could do the account index. Oh, that's right. Those are defined up there. Hmm. Yeah, so because each of these accounts have the account index inside of them, it would be nice if I could just say like an array or whatever and their actual index matched up with the account index. So if I could do counts 0 or whatever and it would match up with this one. That's what I was trying to think through here. And I'm trying to determine if it's worth making a jumble of functions just so I could do that, or if it would just be easier to make a function that as part of the looping, once it derives it and gets the wallet ID, or sorry, not the wallet ID, the X key ID. So once it gets the X key ID, then I could just request this. And so that might actually be easier than trying to do that. I'm not sure. I am thinking, however, that it would be worthwhile to change the order of this. So I had batch size down here, but I think moving it up would be better, maybe. Or not. I tried to order these in a way that made most sense for what we're doing, but it might not make as much sense anymore. So sometimes you kind of just want the default, but if I move that up, you can't define these other things without that. But I don't always want to have to define the use, for example. So Hmm. So at this point in batch address generate, we would get the X key, or we'd be able to get to the X key ID, I believe. I think that would give us the X key ID. And then with the X key ID, we could easily find this individual item. So we could do what, like store dot get item ever. The ID. So then we could get this individual one, grab the address index and know how many we need. And I was going to wrap this, so I was just going to loop over accounts here. Which we could still do. It's just a little chicken and eggy. So I think I'm going to go with looping over this for now. So or I think we want n for a of accounts. Oh, they're because we're not using it yet. Oh, I do want of. I don't know why, but it's always the reverse of what I'm thinking. Oh, derp. Wait. Counts is not iterable. Shouldn't it be? Oh, if it was an array, that's right. So isn't there a way to do it like that? I swear there is. Am I crazy? I thought there was a way to do that, but I also know that we could just do object.values. I believe this will solve what I was thinking of. All right, so that's the function I want there, or the for loop I want, that is. So for a of object values, I don't know. Okay, so we check the current stored accounts. We get their values as an array. If the length of the array is greater than 0, we loop over the array, and then we batch generate on each of those. Would be nice, but I'm not sure if it's possible, is we could come to local forage and kind of filter. There's get, set, remove, clear length, keys. Key. Yeah. This is where I was hoping that that we could filter easier. So essentially, I mean, I did build that other function that I showed a little bit ago, but it wasn't exactly intended for filtering. Suppose it could. So this find all in store. Maybe find all in store could do what I'm thinking of. It's being used more as a find than a filter, but I think it might be close enough to do what we need. To see how it's got account index in there already. We should be able to find all and store in addresses. Suppose we can test this real quick while we are testing things like this. So we should be able to do addresses and then account index 1, for example. So this should just return the account, the addresses for that account index. Yeah, it looks like it did, but also let's do object dot values use count adders length. Right, 20. So I could use that find all and store thing. This is all getting so much more complicated than I want it to be, though. I need a simpler solution, to be honest. Okay, so if we did it this way, my gosh, we could, as we're looping over each account, we could find all in store. Which would get us the number of accounts we have, so 20. And then we could say if 20 is less than address index, so if it's less than that address index, we need to generate more, essentially. Oh. I was hoping to accomplish more in this stream, but I'm thinking maybe I should wrap up because I've started this near the end of my day rather than at the start, and just not as sharp as I would have been had I started this first thing in my day. So I might wrap up here, and then hopefully I'll be able to resolve this quicker tomorrow. Getting started fresh. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap up here for now. But maybe I'll push the few changes that I did get done. See, anything else worth committing? Most of this was just tinkering, I think. Removing. I could commit that. Let's do. Let me check that before. No, a lot more changes there. Okay, so a little bit more committed. I can go ahead and push this. That will at least get the copy changes to recovery phrase in here. All right. So I'm gonna wrap up here. This is a much shorter stream, but I'll have a bit of a longer stream tomorrow and hopefully starting first thing in my day and getting into this will help me resolve this faster, because right now I'm just feel like I'm spinning my wheels, and most of it's because I'm already tired. So yes, I will say sayonara. Thanks for tuning in, and please consider liking and subscribing, following, sharing, commenting, all of that stuff. It's much appreciated and helps me out. So thank y'all, and I will catch you tomorrow. Bye.